Welcome to the Wager Makers Podcast with Webb and Smitt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Webb.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Webb.
Hello. What's up, Smitt?
What's up, buddy? I'm Smitt, that's Webb, and we are the Wager Makers, and this is the Wager Maker Podcast. Thank you all for joining us. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Got more winning picks. We've been kicking ass in the NFL this week. Webb, this is Wager Maker Podcast number 66.
66, baby. This one came pretty easy, too. At 66, I believe, is Mario Lemieux. That came pretty easy. I did not have to look that one up, so we're going to go with 66, man, Mario Lemieux. I'm a bigger hockey fan now than I've ever been. They did a great job. We talked about it numerous times. I'm looking forward to the next season. I was out with the intern, Nick Perrone, the other day, and he had his New York Rangers hoodie on. They had the first pick, a great pick, too. We're out with John Morgan, too. We're thinking about maybe investing in some Rangers tickets, like a little package, depending on what goes on with this fucking virus, for a couple Ranger games this year. So looking forward to it.
Sounds good. Watch out for the Devils this year. Now that we're out of the bubble, we can say New Jersey Devils, something like that, but we'll see what happens. Number 66, Mario Lemieux, obviously Hall of Fame hockey. I'm not even the biggest hockey guy. Neither of us really are, but that's a name that transcends whatever when you're talking sports. Also Ray Nitschke. We've heard a lot about him, before our time, but he was the number 66. When I looked up there.
Was he one of the guys in those old school Miller Lite commercials? Remember when he used to break through? They had like Euchre and Madden. Do you remember those? You know what I'm talking about?
Maybe.
But
yeah,
of
course.
Light,
less filling tastes great. All that shit.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if Nitschke was. Maybe he was, but I'm not positive.
I'm not sure. It just came to me now. So
certainly Dick Butkus was on there.
Butkus, yeah.
Nitschke,
Bob Euchre.
I think he was. Nitschke was always mentioned, for us at this, in the same breath as the Dick Butkuses of the world and stuff like that, of old NFL tough guys. But obviously, Mario Lemieux, I think, Hall of Fame, even, for hockey, that'd be like, saying Wayne Gretzky or something like that. Right. He goes across all. So, Webb, last week, NFL, unbelievable. We lost the Thursday night game. We took Tampa Bay. We thought it was a little screwy. We love Tampa Bay. Love Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay, actually the Bears come out and beat the Buccaneers. Yeah, so we're thinking, oh shit, this is the way this week is going to go. Thursday night, we kind of went big on that. We really touted Tampa Bay Thursday night. And so man, this is a sign of the week, I guess. I think we had Tulane that night too, or that was the Friday game, something like that, but lost that one too. Thought Louisville was going to be kicking ass on Friday night.
We got motherfuckers from moving forward.
Right. So thought big about them. So it was like, oh man, this weekend's gonna be tough. And then Webb, in the NFL, since the Thursday night game, we have not lost a game in NFL since that Thursday night game against the spread. 9-0 on Sunday. 9-0.
You can look at it. 9-0.
We had the Panthers, we had the Raiders, we had the Steelers, we had the Dolphins, we had the Giants, we had the Vikings. And then we won Monday night. We had the Chargers. Yeah. We also had the Cardinals on Sunday.
Yep.
And the Rams.
Yep.
And then we took Tennessee yesterday.
We had Tennessee yesterday to boot.
Bonus.
And I don't think anyone was looking at that. The Bills were hot fire.
I mean, we took some points this week when we needed to. Look, we took your points. Took your points. Even went against your Cowboys, went against my Saints.
Yeah.
Came out roses. Well, we moved up.
Both covered.
SportsWatchMonitor.com, Webb, we're number 3 in the last 7 days, but more importantly, overall, number 3 in the last 7 days. Most importantly, we moved up from I think we were 16 last week out of 68 teams, and we're now number 3 at Sports Watch Monitor.
You got to stay with us, people. We're getting there. We're going to number 1. And not only that, Smith, we did a hell of a job in this Dodger game today. We called not that it was the hardest pick in the world, but we were both going back and forth on the text, like, oh man, they're gonna start right off in the first inning. I got home from work, it was 11-0.
Crazy first inning. Yeah, I mean, we should have been on the over on that one, but it's the way it goes sometimes. But I'm glad I'm on the Dodgers. I'm on the Dodgers in the series, so we're starting to look bleak. If they didn't do something today,
they were going to come out, especially with I think Kyle Wright pitched, right? I mean, that was fairly easy, and I got it earlier than you guys did. I think I was minus 170, but this morning it was maybe minus 155. By the time dude guys is minus 190, but I was still I would have been on that as well.
Yeah, big,
given it
big
that number.
I think it was kind of a sign last night. The Braves had the game well in hand, and maybe they were up by 8 runs or 9 or something like that. And in the ninth inning, the Dodgers exploded for 7. I think they got they came back to made it a 1-run game, and you just felt like maybe that was what they needed to get the bats going. Sure enough, first pitch today they were rolling. So
yeah, I didn't even. Yeah, I mean now it worries me a little bit about whatever. I guess it would be game 4, because usually once someone goes for double-digit runs, I tend to go against them the next day. I don't know. I got to see. We'll see what's pitching. I don't know if it's going to be Kershaw or what they're going to do or what's going to happen.
Saying it just came across the board that probably Kershaw is going to pitch, but he probably was going to pitch yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
he woke up is feeling sore or something. Kershaw is a not money player. I don't care. I mean, I'm going to be rooting for him tomorrow if he's pitching because I'm on the Dodgers. But
yeah, I mean, I like him. I'd like to see him. I thought this might have been the year he could get that monkey off his back or kind of shake that stigma, but it's not looking like it unless he comes out tomorrow and dominates. But.
Right.
I mean, if still time to do it.
Game 2, he probably would have pitched twice in this series. Now it's a little bit in doubt whether you're going to see him twice in the series.
Yeah, well, I wonder if it sets him up now to pitch game 1 if they get through it. I mean, that's an interesting thing.
True. So yeah, red hot, man. We got and Webb. Sure enough, I looked at some games, and I kind of like some games going into this week. So let's keep it going. Everybody that we haven't been doing that great college picks, but let's look at our college pick'em pool. I got the results right here. You're going into this week just to show you where we're at. The number 1 guy is Reed in this pool, in the college pick'em pool, and he's at 20-20 against the spread. So that just shows.
I was in first place last week, right?
What's that?
I think I was in first place last week. No.
Yeah, going into after last week, you were first place. You're still in second. You're at 19-20. Maybe there was a push in there somewhere. Rev G's got 18 wins. The intern's got 18. Lil Saint the Goat's got 17. Scott Wheatley's got 17. Chad Arnold has 16, and I got 15. So everybody's still in it. But it was a rough week. And just shows you the number 1 team is 50-50. So.
Yeah, I mean college is tough. I mean, there's some of those games. Like I said, we really liked a couple of them. That Louisville, I don't know. I guess that first game was the aberration, not the norm. So there's a couple other teams that I think are doing that as well. It's going to be an interesting weekend now with Saban having COVID. If he obviously can't coach and they have to play, because the same thing happened to Florida State. So the precedent is already set, and they're playing Georgia. Not that I think that Georgia can score enough, but it'll be different without Saban on the sideline there.
Right. And now they announced today the LSU and Florida game will be postponed. Haven't really announced when time, but it's funny. That's because it's coming off right off after the Florida coach after last week's game was saying he really wants to get the full fan experience in the swamp.
He said he wanted 90,000 people in the stands. Why? First of all, who would say that? How can you be so good to be a head coach, make millions of dollars at the University of Florida, and then you're so stupid to say you want 90,000 people, young people in the stands? It just the moronicism and the stupidity abounds. It abounds.
Well, I'll tell you, the reason why he was so adamant about that after last week's game is because we were on the Gators last week in A&M, and it seemed like the crowd was affecting the game. Maybe I don't know if there was 25,000 people in there. I don't know if there was 40 or 50, but it was loud enough where there was times when it felt like it was a game we were watching, where the crowd was cheering and the offense was having a little trouble. Maybe the offense just isn't used to doing the things you have to do to play with a crowd going, but it's certainly however many fans A&M had there, it affected the game. And so I'm sure after he was done with the game, it's like, we got to get the swamp going. We got LSU coming next week. But I'll tell you what, with LSU coming, you ain't got to worry about shit the way they played this week.
They're going to score 70 points easily.
Unbelievable. That was going to be one of the easiest plays of the year, was the over in that game. Nobody's stopping anybody in that shit.
No. And I don't know how many people were there either, but it did sound like I came in the middle of the game and I turned it on, and the first thing that struck me was the noise.
Right.
And I took a look to see. I'm like, they can't be pumping in noise like that. And it wasn't. So I don't know what's going on. Everything's bigger in Texas, whatever they say, but it definitely worked. And maybe it's just because we're not used to it, and they're not used to it. But it definitely seemed. I understand what he was saying, but you still can't say stupid shit.
Right. So, I mean, and then speaking of LSU, dude, they got whooped by Missouri. They couldn't stop shit. In the first half, Webb, just to make it show you what it looks like. The first half, they recovered 3 fumbles from Missouri, and Missouri faked a punt and didn't make it. So that's like another turnover there at midfield. Yep. And they couldn't stop Missouri ever. Couldn't stop Missouri ever.
It was as if they weren't even. It was like 11 on 7 or something like. It was crazy. I mean, out there.
We made fun in week 1. We were like, oh man, Mississippi State beat the crap out of them. 600 yards passing and all this other stuff. And we're like, oh, well, Leach, man, that's his first day at Mississippi State. He's really going to whoop ass. Since that day, Mississippi State, I don't think they've hardly scored on offense.
No, I don't think they have. And he's on whatever on saying he's going to he scrubbed the roster or whatever. He's got. Well, I forgot the word.
The other day, I don't know if they scored on offense other than a safety or something like that, or a late touchdown. And the game before that, they played against somebody, I think Arkansas or something, and they got waxed by them too.
Yep. Yeah.
So I mean, it just shows you just how bad. So it wasn't all Leach. It was that.
No, it was how bad they were.
That
that loss looks worse and worse and worse with each game that Mississippi State plays.
Right. So, that we had Notre Dame to cover against Florida State. They were down at about the 1 or 2 yard line to end the game when they finally took knees, I think. Had LSU. We had the over in the Tennessee Georgia. That was a good pick. Had Georgia. That was a good pick.
Yep.
But the Florida beat us. We had Clemson. They rolled over Miami. That was a good solid pick. I thought.
I wasn't even worried about that one.
So really rolling into Saturday evening and then all day Sunday was a good end to the week for us.
Even up till this Dodgers game. Yep. We got Louisiana Lafayette tonight. That's tied still.
It's tied almost to halftime. We got to get the Raging Cajuns need to get ball rolling a little bit. They're laying it.
That's only a touchdown.
Yep. Now we can move on to the Wager Makers Survivor Pool. Want to thank everybody for doing that. We're down to 5. We lost another player this week, so we're down to 5. Webb, down to 5 on the Survivor Pool. We got Chad, Doug Walsh, Gary, Marty Johnson, and Weber is still. All
right, this is a tough week, man, for the Survivor. Me, you, and Rita are in that big one. I took both of those. So I have those 2, and I have this one. So right now, I have the Dolphins on all 3. I can't take the Ravens, and I can't take the Colts in either of those pools. So I may switch one. I may switch ours to the Patriots against who are they playing? Somebody, Denver. And that kid Rippon's starting again. So I may switch depending on what goes on with Cam and maybe even more importantly with Stephon Gilmore. So that may happen. But it'll be one of those 2 teams, the Dolphins or the Patriots.
I'm leaning to the Dolphins right now. It's looking like Cam will be back with the team on Thursday and playing and practicing and stuff like that. But still, man, with the COVID, man, it just adds an extra curveball into every week.
It's weird. It's way weird. And I looked at I think obviously Indy, if you could take Indy, I would take Indy. I mean, that number's 10 for the Patriots. So that's telling you something right there. Right. And then Baltimore, I think is going to beat Philly, obviously. And I did see someone else I thought about maybe. They didn't have it in the big one. They didn't have the Rams and the Niners on there, which is fine. Oh, Tennessee. I was thinking about taking Tennessee against Houston. They looked real good last night, but I don't know. That's a short week for them.
And they almost look too good that you don't want to take them the next week.
Right. And I don't like teams betting against teams that just got a new head coach.
Right. That's why maybe the Jets are still in play, but you want to kind of stay away from that Falcons maybe.
Yes, that's the other one I lookked at too.
You never know. He might just come out and all of a sudden start playing because maybe the head coach was really holding them back in their effort and everything. You never know.
Sense of pride comes in a little bit, like there's so I did look at that one, and then Tennessee was the other one. But I do think the Jets will get slaughtered again pretty good. They're just a complete disaster from head to toe. Just what even they say, how they handle things. Then the Gase comes out today and says, "Oh well," basically. Did you see that where they said they mishandled him? Let me see. He said if it's irrelevant now. They asked him if he mishandled or misused Le'Veon Bell's talents. He goes, "Well, at this point, that's irrelevant." Okay, asshole.
It's always relevant. Your job is on the line. You brought him in. You gave him all kinds of money. You made the decision to bring him there and pay him a lot of money.
Well, that was the thing. He wasn't there at that point, or he was against it. The GM wasn't there, but he didn't want to bring him in. But you still owe the guy $6 million this year. So why not just give him? If he's a dog, or if it's on the player, if it's a player's issue, then give him the ball, play him. And I mean, his issue was he wasn't getting played. He wasn't used right. He wasn't not showing up to practice and doing this and that. He wanted the ball. He wanted to play. So I would have just pimped. I would have played him and used him. He's at this point the most talented player they have on either side of the ball. Right. Just based on what he did in Pittsburgh. So play him out. You're not going anywhere this year anyway. Play it out and then designate him a June 6th release, and you save that money at least, and whatever.
Right. Hand him the ball. What the hell you got to lose?
Right.
What do you
give it to him 30 times a game. You want the ball? Here you go.
Yep. How could it hurt? How could it hurt?
Right. I don't understand it.
You're going to be worse. You're going to be worse if you give the ball to Le'Veon Bell. I don't think.
But still, now like you put it on ESPN or you put it on the app, and what you hear is the head coach like talking shit like like a child. Like that's just always the problem. Like take the high road, just say, yeah, player's gone, we're moving on.
The coach just shut up and coach. Same with the Florida coach. Same whatever. Listen, just shut up and coach. We say it to the players. Right. We say it to the players. Say it to the players all the time. Just shut up and coach. Same with the coaches. We're not looking
coach speak, but just don't say anything stupid.
Right. Speaking of which, like locker room issues, the Saints had a little bit of issue this week. Michael Thomas has been out since week 1. He, I guess, got an altercation with the safety. But then it turns out, so that then they sat him down. He was supposed to be back this week, listed as questionable. They got a bye week coming up. And so I kind of mentioned last week that maybe everything in that Saints locker room isn't hunky-dory like they're making it sound. So we'll just see we'll see how this plays out. This shit happens sometimes. We'll see. But it turns out, sounds like the reason why Thomas got benched was not as much about the altercation that he had on the field with the safety, but about his reaction to the Saints coaching staff afterwards. After the situation, I think what led a little more to his sitting.
He got
like maybe
he thought he shouldn't have been scolded.
Right, exactly. Here comes
the
Major Maker Express man coming in. Yeah, exactly. I think he was going to have some discipline go his way. Most likely a slap on the wrist when he gave Peyton and everybody else a whole bunch of shit about it, and then it turned into, okay, well, you're going to sit out. You're going to sit out one more week. So we'll see. Maybe he's just not healthy. Maybe it was a little more than anything. Maybe we're making something out of nothing. But I did mention last week that maybe this thing in the Saints locker room, obviously the Saints had a big comeback victory, didn't cover, which was perfect for us. They got lucky with the bad field goal kicking. But Herbert Webb, very impressive. Very impressive quarterback.
I told you, he was misused at Oregon. I liked him. I was hoping that the year, if we go back, I guess when the Giants took Dickie Dimes, the rumor was that they were going to take Justin Herbert, and he stayed in school obviously, but I was hoping that didn't happen just for this reason. This kid is good. He's big. He's strong. He's not afraid. He can run. He can throw it. I mean, I'm a fan. Obviously, that's his team moving forward. So yeah, he's good, and I'm rooting for him.
Yep, good dude. I wasn't the biggest fan of his coming out of college, but he's impressed me every game he's played.
They didn't use him right.
Big, strong, athletic, got the arm, not overwhelmed by the situation.
No, none of that. Answers the bell, shitty throw, forgets about it, gets punched in the mouth, steps right back up, fights back. That's
got hit a lot this Monday night.
Yeah,
made good throws, man. That throw he made to I think it was Mike Williams at the very end that led to the over Lattimore's head down the sideline, just that led to that field goal attempt at the end of the game. Just the dude Herbert did what he had to do to win.
Right, exactly. Right.
And really the one where Lattimore tackles the dude over the middle, that wide receiver's got to fight through and make that first down. He catches a slant on the run. You got to get through that tackle some kind of way. Lattimore made it. I don't know how he stopped him.
Right. Well, that's right. I mean, that's
but that was a great play.
That's true. But someone, I was man versus man, and that guy won. But again, quarterback did what he had to do.
Right. Falcons, we begged and pleaded for Quinn to get fired. Didn't know why, didn't know how. Finally, they did enough, I guess, to get him out of there. So that'll be like you said,
and the GM
too. So they'll be starting from scratch all over again. So the Falcons, especially watching what happened, what's going on in that NFC South with the Panthers, are playing pretty good football, and they come out and with Bridgewater, a brand new coach, brand new system, with really their best players been out. Yep. And they're still, whooping up on the Falcons and going to 3-2, I think is what the record is right now.
And I think this is the first year without Kuechly, right? Is this the first year without him?
Yep. And
even
the running back's been hurt.
McCaffrey's out, but this is But at least he was going to play. What's his name? Kuechly retired or whatever it was. And then I think it's Thomas Davis was a big part of their team for a while too, and I think he's done as well. So that's a good job Matt Rule's doing, and it just shows you the character of Bridgewater to kind of almost will that team. They don't have too many.
Nothing fantastic. They're an NFL team. They're come out. You're gonna have to show up to beat them.
Right. It's not a male. It's not the Jets. It's not the Giants.
So they're 3-2. Okay, just a reminder real quick. We'll get to the picks here in a second. Thrive Fantasy. Go to the Thrive Fantasy app, and the promo code is Wager Makers. Don't forget to get on there. You get a bonus. You get bonus money when you go on there and take the Wager Makers promo code. So Webb, I guess
put in, you get 100% match.
Dig it. I guess we can go right to the maybe go right to the picks. Let's start picking some winners. That's what people want.
Man, we're hot. Let's get it going. Fuck it.
So we'll start out with the chick picks. There's 5 games we did with the chickens this week, and then we'll go the rest of the NFL games, and then we'll get into the college. So the games we got this week, Webb, the Broncos and the Patriots.
Now let me see if I have a line here. I might have disappeared.
Like New England's favored by quite a bit in an ESPN app I'm looking at.
Yeah, I don't have it up here on the other one, which makes sense. But yeah, 9.5. If you're assuming Gilmore and Cam are going to play, I guess it'd be probably 9.5 or 10. Man, that's tough. I'm going to go with the Patriots.
All right. I'm a little indecisive on that one. I'm just gonna defer to you on that one and say go ahead.
A lot of things happened pretty good for that kid quarterback last game he played. I don't remember if I think we bet against him. I don't know if he might have won the game or even they definitely covered, but Belichick's
they played the Jets. That's what went good for him.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, there we go. And then Belichick's going to make it hard for this kid. And if Newton's back, I'm sure he's kind of chomping at the bit a little bit. And they're decimated too. They're like many other teams. The Broncos are hurting badly. So I would take I'd take the Patriots there.
Okay, here's the next one's a real interesting matchup, right? With the two great quarterbacks. We got the Packers and the Buccaneers. I have strong feelings about this one. We'll see what you think about it.
I'm going with Tampa Bay in this one. It's just down to a pick 'em, which is just a disrespect right there. I understand Tampa Bay is up and down. They haven't played. They haven't clicked on all cylinders yet. Packers are looking good. The worst thing happened for the Packers to have their bye because they were on fire going into the bye week, and that's always sucks. I like Tampa Bay is going to get out of there with a win. That to me, this is a pretty easy pick for me.
I agree with you 100%. I've been talking about the Buccaneers. I know they let us down Thursday night against the Bears. That was one of those days, and I know everybody's loving the Packers. But when you play defenses like the Lions and last week they played Atlanta. I think the Saints were able to put up 30 points.
Atlanta's looking worse and worse and worse, just like like LSU.
That night the Packers played Atlanta. I think they could have put up 100 points if they wanted to. They just couldn't, they just didn't bother. But I think Tampa Bay will probably be the best defense that the Packers have faced, which Rodgers will still be able to score points. But I think Green Bay's defense is a lot worse than what they've shown so far. And a lot of people are jumping all over them as the best of the NFC so far. I think Tampa Bay gets a win in this game.
Yeah, and there's some locker room issues there as well, but I think it's more player versus management with Devontae Adams. I don't know if he came out and sent some. I didn't see the tweet, but I guess he sent some bullshit tweet. He wants to play, and they're holding him back. I don't know if he's hurt or what.
Yeah, right. I think it came out
Maybe.
today.
I don't know what the
I'm
injury
just
is.
frustrated that I haven't been playing or something.
Right.
Like that.
So that never. I mean, that may be okay, but is he playing? If he's not playing, I love it even more. But they're going to win.
I like the Buccaneers
without him, right?
I
Exactly.
like the Buccaneers because especially Tampa Bay lost on national TV Thursday night.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the Packers. I think Tampa Bay has enough to beat.
Right.
The next game we picked with the Chickens is the Sunday night game. The Rams go to the 49ers.
Who's the quarterback for the Niners? Do we know?
I think Garoppolo, right?
He got benched, didn't he?
Yeah, but I don't know that he's going to be benched for good, right?
Right.
Just a game and say, okay, we'll get him back next week or something.
Let me see the number I got on this one. 3.5. The Rams. This one's a difficult as well. I'm going to go with the Rams. I think they're as good as they've been playing. I'm a huge Aaron Donald fan. The Niners are just banged up. Losing Nick Bosa crushes them, and they don't have talented skills player. I'm still not sold on Garoppolo. So,
all right, they certainly got smoked by Miami the other day. I was kind of thinking maybe it might be a good time in a division game like this. Maybe San Francisco's coming back and to take some points in this. But if you feel comfortable with the Rams,
that's an easy trip for the Rams. It's just straight up, I just think you're going to compare them. They're better. There's no home field. There's nothing like that. Two good coaches, and the Rams are just playing pretty good football. They do the right thing. They get the ball to their playmakers. They try to, anyways. And if Aaron Donald, we had Aaron Donald, I think 2 weeks ago, and he let us down, and then he played real good the next week. So hopefully it's not a pattern, but let's have a hard time picking the Niners. Let's go with the Rams.
All right. And then moving on, we got 2 Monday night games. Webb, we'll start with the one that's close to your heart. You lost, man. Hey, our prayers go out, thoughts and prayers to whatever you want to say to Dak. We make fun of the Cowboys a lot. I do here. I make fun of Dak a lot. Dude's a quality guy, seems like. Never see bad news about him. You never want to see anybody injured on a field like
no.
was the other day. So, obviously, hope Dak makes a speedy recovery and can bounce back from this thing and get everything all together.
Well, there's a couple things before we get on to let's just talk about this real quick. Couple things. Yeah, I mean, when we talk about players' performances and what they deserve money, it's not what their personal whatever. Dude's obviously a rock star human being type thing. And a couple of things that came from this. I don't know if you look on Twitter, did you see there's this Team Giovanni? I guess there's a 12-year-old. Oh, here we go, Smitt.
Major Express coming through, baby.
There's some 12-year-old kid who's he has some type of affliction or ailment, and he came out and he's like, I'm the biggest. If you just search it on whatever. He's like, I'm the biggest Eagle fan ever. I was like, brother, Dak, I hate to see everyone go that. I have a bunch of surgeries myself. Please come back stronger than ever, bro. So that was great. And then if you saw also, I guess Dak Prescott's neighbors put this big balloon, like this big 50 feet long balloon thing in his front yard saying, get well soon. And then also the other thing was how the Giants players and the coaches over there, Mark Colombo and Jason Garrett went over there. So just it says a lot about his character. And then we could, it's debatable what's going to happen with his contract. They said that he'll be back April or May. If that's the case, the Cowboys are going to franchise him again is what's going to happen. So, but more power to him. Like we said, he'll be back. And if anybody can do, the other thing I was going to mention, did you see when it happened when he tried to put his ankle back himself?
Did not. I was on the golf course when it happened, and a guy I was playing with was like, we kind of watching the games on our phone and shit.
Yeah.
And he starts fucking freaking out he's like, oh my fucking God. He's going off about what happened and shit. So, I mean, we've seen those plays before enough that I wasn't in any hurry to go watch the video.
No.
So I just
it's kind of after, he's sitting up and he kind of leans down, he tries to turn, he grabs his own foot and tries to turn it around. It was crazy. It's crazy. But anyways,
funny story, not funny, but we've actually been in a couple situations like this. I don't know if you remember. When it was playing high school football, offensive play, kind of down on the ground, blocking for running back Chris Blacknall. All of a sudden, I hear him kind of yelling, "Get up!" Hear a crack, get up, turn around. The dude's laying there, and his legs great athlete, great track star, running back, everything, going the other way. And then I don't know if you remember this other one. I think it was a game that you were playing in, and I would go umpire. We would go umpire games sometimes in Little League.
Oh yeah, I was on the Royals. I know the kid was I was playing shortstop,
and I was like umpiring at second base, and dude goes sliding into second base, and you tagged him out, and I called him out, and then we both looked down, and his leg was kind of facing the other direction. So we started calling. We were like, teenage age, whatever, 12, 13 years old.
I was playing senior or whatever it was. Yeah. 14 years old, 15 years old.
So I've been in this situation a couple times. So thoughts go out to Dak and hoping makes a speedy recovery when he comes back. And
he's
left a lot of money.
He was out of the hospital. I think he was out of the hospital by noon on Monday. Not that it, not to minimize it, but at least
hopefully it was a clean break or whatever they do. Right. Speaking of which, Alex Smith actually got a little playing time this week. Good to see him out on the field. I don't know. I think he's not going to be starting this week or anything, but it's just good to see he came back from that monster injury he had a couple of years ago.
I saw something like it was ridiculous, dude. They were talking about amputating his leg or something just based off of the infection. I mean, they showed it was crazy. That was there's I don't know if it was on HBO or what it was on or ESPN, but it's interesting if you see it. But I was scary. So
it's a busy. It's a busy night on the railroad tracks over there tonight.
It's on 9 o'clock too. It's not like it's commute time.
All right. So 2 Monday night games. Love 2 Monday night games. I love Tuesday night games. I love Wednesday night games. This COVID's really spreading shit out. I like it. Cardinals and Cowboys. When
I first saw this, first of all, we're going to go overs for sure. 55 points. They're both going to score a ton of points, even with the red rifle in there for the Cowboys. I have a hard time taking the Cowboys here. I don't like it either way. I mean, the line is dropping too, which kind of scares me. I think at first it was maybe 3.5 or something Arizona's way. I'll defer to you. I do like the over. That's going to be fairly easy. I guess we go with the Cardinals, but stranger things have happened. So I don't know. This is a weird one.
We're not saying go crazy on it, but I think we go with the Cardinals here.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm an okay guy with Andy Dalton. I think he's a solid NFL quarterback. Certainly no Dak Prescott, but they won't lose because of him. The problem is the Dallas defense is just horrible.
They can't, and they can't keep up with.
Right. I think both teams will score, but eventually the Andy Dalton run offense is only going to score. They'll only score 35, but the other team might score 45.
Right.
So I'm going to go. I'll take the Cardinals, and then big Monday night matchup. Up until yesterday, both of these teams were kicking butt, but they both took a loss this week. The Chiefs and Bills are the other Monday night game.
All right, I got -4 here, 57.5. I'll tell you right now, you go under. But we'll get to the pick. Now, it depends. What's his name? Tre'Davious White playing. That's big. If he is not, if the Bills are intact because who else sat? Someone else sat yesterday. It was a kind of a game time thing. Do you know who it was?
Not sure.
Tre'Davious White. You know who that is? Obviously, he's awesome corner from LSU. If he plays, I'll take +4. I'll take the 4 because everyone's got now. It's like, oh my God, what's the matter with the Bills? Well, they lost the fucking game. Were they going to go 16-0?
Right. Same with the Chiefs.
Right.
Lost the division game.
Right. -4. Let's just say all things being equal, I'm going to kind of go a little contrarian and take the Bills +4.
Okay. I have no big, huge pony in this game or whatever, but I'm cool with taking the points in this one.
It's hard to have success back to back. There's just a couple things stacking up against the Chiefs. I mean, they could come out and beat the shit out of them, but
the Bills are good. The Bills are good, man. The Bills are good. They didn't look good.
Tre'Davious White is not playing. I'm not. I'm gonna beg off. I'd go the other way actually, just because of what he can do defensively in the defensive back. If he could shut one of those guys down.
Right. All right. So that's our chicken picks are this: the Patriots, the Buccaneers, the Rams, the Bills, and the Cardinals.
What's the national game Sunday? Did we do that one?
Well, we did those 5 with the.
right. I guess
I
maybe
think
there's
it's going to be the
the
Packeteers. The Packeteers. I'm saying the Buccaneers. So, all right, we're going to hold on 1 second here. If you're on video, we're going to go to the chicken picks. If you're not, we're going to go right to the picks. I'll tell you what the chickens did.
Hey, wager makers, you ready to lose this week? I'm taking the Patriots, the Packers, the Rams, the Chiefs, and the Cardinals. Another winning week.
Just want everybody to know, this is not really product placement because this is not Smart Water. I don't know if people think I drink that many bottles of Smart Water every day of my life, but this is straight out of the tap. I just use the bottles because they're big and easy to use, and I drink water like all day long, like a damn camel. So that's.
But we're not adverse to any sponsorships.
Well, but if Smart Water wants to call me, or Kentwood, or fucking any fucking, or Dirt Swamp Water wants to call me, and
Dirty Water
their bottles, I'll be happy to do. So, all right. So the chicken picks are in. Here's what they are. We both have the Patriots.
Well, how did we do with the chickens last week? Did we win?
Oh, we forgot to mention. We kicked the chicken's ass last week. But I thought it was a given since we were 11 and
right, well,
we should have said something because I was kind of giving you shit about laying eggs the last couple of weeks, but we are tied with the chickens. We're 2-1 if we go week to week, just so we know.
Now did the chickens win Thursday night? They did then.
No, they didn't. We had the same pick. That was the first loss the chickens had on Thursday night.
It was us.
Yeah. Put the kibosh. All right. But the problem is we're both on it. Well, there is no Thursday night this week, I guess. The Broncos and Patriots are Sunday, I guess, because COVID or because of
2 Mondays. We got 2 Mondays. We played 2.
Baseball,
we had one yesterday.
COVID, some shit. I don't know.
Yeah,
Mondays, Tuesday games, all that shit.
Right.
So both have the Patriots.
Okay.
We were different on the Packers and Buccaneers. We took the Buccaneers. They took the Packers. We both got the Rams. They took the Chiefs. We took the Bills.
Good.
And we both took the Cardinals.
3 differences, so there'll be a winner.
So This one looks like only two differences, right?
The Packers and
the Rams. We both took the Cardinals. We both took the Patriots.
Okay.
They have the Packers, and they have the Chiefs.
All right, so we got the Bills and the Bucks are going to win for us. That'll be it.
All right, so moving on, Webb. What other? I got a couple NFL games I don't mind on here. What other games do you like on the NFL?
Let me see my phone. I don't know, man. You know what? It's funny. I did kind of like. I did kind of like the Redskins, believe it or not, or whatever, the Washington team at the Giants. But I'm reneging on that. That scratch that. I don't know, Smitt. I don't see too much that's looking back on me here. What are you thinking?
Right. Actually, I know that we were down on them last year or whatever, but I'm starting to be a believer, Webb, in the Cleveland Browns, and we've been on the Steelers almost every week, and they've been covering for us. Even got the late touchdown this week to help us out. I think the Browns can go to Pittsburgh and keep it close. I think they have a running game. The Steelers gave up some good, big chunks of yards on the Browns.
Chubb is out or no? Chubb's out for the year.
Out, but they still have.
What's his name? Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
Somebody else too.
I kind of like the Browns getting some points in this one.
+3. That's a tough one, man. I would stay away. That's a division. That's a heated game. I mean, Pittsburgh is undefeated, so that would have me lean towards the Browns. I'll side with you. That's fine. We can go with the Browns. It wouldn't shock me.
All right, Browns. I know that you don't like to go against teams that have new coaches, but I think the Vikings are better than a 1-4 team. They went toe-to-toe and just didn't get it done last week against Seattle. I think that they can win against the Falcons, but I have no problem if that's one you want to skip.
No, we'll take the -4. We'll take it. And I do have the Patriots here at -10. So that tells me that both those guys are playing. So,
and what do you think about Webb, the Bears and the Panthers, Webb? I don't think the Panthers are good enough. Like we've said good things about the Panthers, and I know how you feel about the Bears, but I'm not ready to. That's a funky line coming off a big Thursday night win.
they're getting a point and a half. Yeah, I'm staying away from this one. This one scares me. I don't understand that. I still don't believe in the Bears. I guess that was a prove me game, and they proved it. I think I actually said that, but I'm still not ready to pull the trigger on them. Man, yeah. I mean, I do like the over in the Cowboys for sure. The under in the other one, the Chiefs, 57.5 is high. Pardon me. I don't know. I was actually looking at the lines. I don't know what's going on there.
They've had a couple weeks off. That might be a team that could come down and they got to get a win. I mean, they see coaches getting fired. That coach up there has got to know
he's on the short list. But I don't think there's anybody worse than Matthew. Dude, he just doesn't win games. So I would think about them. I do like Tennessee a little bit, but that's a short week for them. Baltimore -7.5 at Philly. On paper, that should be easy, but that kind of scares me a little bit too. And then the Colts -8 against the Bengals. Actually, I like that.
You like the Colts?
Yeah, I do.
Or the Bengals.
I like the Colts.
All right.
Despite of Rivers, because that defense is good and they got good players, but I just think he's going to hit a little bit of Joe Burrow's going to hit a little bit of a tough stretch here. He's good, no doubt, but he just can't.
Well, he got shut down. The Bengals got shut down last week against Baltimore for sure. I was a little nervous about that game and a suicide. No reason to
forget that. Yeah. So that's it for me, man. I mean, my two strongest plays as I look at it is the overs and the Cowboys, and the under in the Chiefs and the.
So let's see what we got right now. I'll add the Colts. I'll add the Colts.
Okay.
And in our games we have right now are the Patriots, the Buccaneers, the Rams, over Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Under Bills.
Yeah, they're both not getting to 30.
Right. Bills, Browns, Vikings, Colts, and the Cardinals.
How many is that? That's a lot.
That's 10.
All right, 10's good.
All right, let's move on. Not that many.
What happened? What did Baltimore do last time they played? Did they lose? No,
Baltimore crushed Cincinnati this week.
Yeah, let's stay away. That's a funky line too.
Right. There's a couple weird ones. There's a couple on here I really like, and a couple that are like extra.
Right.
So we'll see. Hey, we probably felt this way last week when we were doing a pick.
I do like the Buccaneers too. That's a winner too.
Yep. Me too.
And you know what? I mean, I think I do. I don't know how many points the Jets are going to score either. I mean, the Dolphins, 10 points. 9.5 is the number two, but that's the one that's I'll be looking at come Sunday too.
Right. Exactly. Okay, moving on to college football. We said we got Raging Cajuns. They just tied it up, but I think both teams missed an extra point in this game, so it's 13-13. So we need the Cajuns to.
What is it? It's a halftime yet?
Yeah, halftime. Halftime, and Cajuns scored right before halftime. I think they must have missed that extra point because the other team missed the extra point early. So
I was thinking that would have been our cover too. Right.
They'd be up 14-13 spread after a touchdown, but now they're 13-13. So, all right, NCAA football, Webb.
We got a game tomorrow.
We got a couple of games tomorrow night, or for Thursday and Friday. I think I'm liking. Let's see.
Me too. What do you got?
Friday night. I like two games Friday night. You want to start it off?
Well, we got tomorrow. Tomorr's the 15th, right?
I don't know nothing about Georgia State or Arkansas State.
Arkansas State is good. They got a good coach. It's a good story with his coach. There's some type of overcoming cancer, either him or his wife or something. There's some real feel-good story there. That's a very good program. What's the record? You have them there?
They're 2-2, and Georgia State is 1-1.
Yeah, we're all over Arkansas State there. They're going to cover that 3.5. We'll buy it to 3, but that's a good one. I like that one. I feel strongly about that one.
Okay.
And then we got two on Friday, the 16th, and I do like them both. I don't understand how BYU's only laying 5. They're going to smoke Houston.
Yep.
That to me is easy, which is kind of scary, I guess, because I thought they were pretty easy last week too. And
that's why it's a lower spread is that They didn't really play that well last week. I guess they got the win, but they were favored by 30 something.
Oh, I bet against them at the end. Yeah, they're 35 points they were laying. Yeah,
right.
Against UTSA, San Antonio. Right. Yeah, and I love SMU.
Yep.
-6.5. Tulane Tulane just can't play with the big dogs. They're fine, up and coming maybe program, but that's when they go up in class.
Right.
Even though it is a conference game, but SMU's is just a different.
No, it's a different ball game. It's a
Yeah.
different ball game altogether. And both of these are the scary part that neither of them is a touchdown. They're both under a touchdown.
Right. And Arkansas State's only 3.5.
I might even get in on those before, after we hang up this conversation right now before it gets to 7.
That's right.
All right, moving on. So we got Arkansas State, BYU, and SMU.
Yeah,
moving on to Saturday. What do you think about Saturday, Webb?
I was looking at Virginia Tech, BC. That's 8 o'clock. The first one on the ledger here. I'm going to stay away. BC's been playing well. I know Virginia Tech's a pretty good program. They've had some decent wins, stuff like that. I'm just going to punt on that one. The ACC's been
a big number there.
12. Yeah, I mean, if I had to, I'd probably take BC at home. No, actually, they're on the road. So I'm off of that. I don't know what to do there. 62.5. I'd probably go under that. BC's not going to score. They'll be in the 20s, and I don't think they're going to give up 40. So that's something to think about. At noon, there's Pitt's at Miami. This number's 13. Pitt has started off well. Then they shit the bed a couple times. I thought they were going to be good. I'm a fan of their quarterback. He's like a fifth-year senior or something. But I think Miami comes out strong here after getting kind of beat up by a big dog. Now they're going down in class here. They I don't know if they thought they were who they were, but now they know who they are, and they got to get back on a winning and make kind of a little bit of statement. So I'm leaning towards Miami. I got a Miami lean -13.
Yeah, this is an interesting game because Pitt, like you say, they started out strong early. I don't know how they lost. They lost a couple games there. They lost to NC State, which was just kind of a shocker. And then they lost, I think maybe that was the BC. They lost.
And they gave up a bunch of points.
Right. And like you say, Miami's not ready for Clemson. They're pretty good at these guys, but man, 13 points in a division game. I'm a little apprehensive. I was almost leaning the other way about just taking the 13 and hope Pitt plays well. But we can come back to that one.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be fans in the stands down there, and I think Miami's going to be a little bit swole after getting spanked. But okay, we'll skip
either that, or they're going to have a little bit of letdown after getting spanked on.
Right, and they know they suck or something. Right. Yeah, I got you.
So the next one, Webb, Auburn has been kind of a letdown all season long.
Yeah,
but they're only laying about a field goal to South Carolina. I got to think if they don't get right this week, they're never going to.
Yeah,
I like Auburn in this one.
Easy. Yep. Okay.
Cool. Moving on, Kentucky and Tennessee, another SEC battle. I like Kentucky. I was on them last week. Actually, I think we gave Mississippi State on the line, but by the time Saturday rolled around, I went with Kentucky over Mississippi State Saturday night, and they won. But Webb, Mississippi State's offense was awful.
Putrid.
Awful. And it wasn't, you didn't feel like it was because of Kentucky's defense.
No.
It was because of Mississippi State.
They don't just have any players, right?
And Kentucky couldn't move the ball at all.
He's going to purge. That's what he said. Leach said he's going to purge his roster.
I just think Tennessee is a good spot in this situation to cover 6 points. I like Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm not Tennessee. I'm not that quarterback, even though he's the Tennessee quarterback. He's from Jersey. He's kind of a douche when he announced he had a big thing in Times Square. So
to go to Tennessee.
Right. All right. So yeah, I got no problem taking Kentucky plus some 6 there. We need
no. I'm saying I like Tennessee.
Do you? Okay. After how Kentucky didn't do anything against a shitty Leach team, I mean, I think Kentucky's okay. I'm either way. That's an easy swing.
I've been a Kentucky fan the last few years. I watched a lot of that game the other day, and they really didn't do anything other than get the ball handed to them over and over and over again. It took them till late in the fourth quarter to finally put that game away.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm not going to argue one way or the other.
All right. Moving down. What else? You see anything else out there?
North Carolina's laying 13.5 to Florida State. I think they're finally clicking. We may give them one more week. That's probably a little high number for me. Florida State is scaring me just based off of how many points they scored last week. It's much more than I thought. So we'll probably pass on that. But come Sunday, that's Saturday. Come Saturday, that's Saturday night. I may have to do something.
Depending on where we're sitting Saturday evening.
Right. A&M. I love A&M at Mississippi State. 6.5. I think they might have found their groove a little bit. I'm a Kellen Mond fan. I've been waiting. I think I said it last week. It's every week we're waiting for them to do something good. They finally did it, and I'm thinking that they're going to capitalize on the momentum against, again, a shitty Mississippi State team.
Have no idea how this line can be other than that they're thinking it's going to be a huge letdown after Florida. But I mean, I watched Mississippi State.
It doesn't matter.
Not good.
Right.
Not good. I don't care what they did to LSU. They're not good.
Yeah.
So.
All over that. I'll mention the Mississippi, Ole Miss at Arkansas. I'm a kind of on an Ole Miss bandwagon. I think that they're a different team than they were in the past. A little exciting, but I'm going to stay away from Arkansas. I think Felipe Franks. Maybe he matured or whatever it is. Good for him, but he's a different player. It looks like than what he was a year or two ago, whatever it was, when he was fucking us every other week.
And Ole Miss coming off a wild game against Alabama. You don't know how they'll show up to play.
Yeah,
next week too.
It's in Arkansas, and Arkansas is feel good. So maybe we're going to pass on that. This one I'm liking. The next one though is Cincinnati at Tulsa. I like Cincinnati minus a 3.5, minus 105. We could buy that to 3 probably for 120, something like that. So Tulsa's nothing. They're not good. Cincinnati's a solid program. You got records there? What's the records?
Yeah, 3-0 and 1-1. Cincinnati's ranked number 8 in the country. And they're laying 3 points. I mean, are they COVID ridden or I don't understand?
I don't know that one. That's an early one too. Yeah. I mean, just tread lightly, but I'm on it. Mark that one down.
Right.
Central Florida and Memphis, I'm going to pass. Oh, how about this one? Again, this is a lose-lose no matter what we do. Louisville at Notre Dame minus 16.5.
We've been on Louisville so many times this year and they have not come through, but I feel like
this is a damned if we do, damned if we don't. I mean, I think Notre Dame has to show better against a shitty team. Louisville cannot hang with anybody good. They can't.
No, but 17 points though. I mean, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm staying away from this just because both teams have screwed me numerous times. I went ahead and took Notre Dame last week, and they decided to win by 16 instead of pumping the extra touchdown in there.
That's going to be for sure. Right?
They gave up, I think, a fumble return touchdown or a punt. Gave up all kinds of extra stupid touchdowns for no reason. They moved the ball up and down.
2:32. That might be a halftime. That might be a second half play.
See how the first half looks.
And that's a weird time. 2:30. So those 3:30s will be. The early ones will be ending and 3:30 will be starting. So that we'll see on that one.
Huge game in the SEC web. Georgia and Alabama.
In Alabama, Bama minus 4. I think the biggest factor. I mean, if Saban was there, I don't know how I would fucking whack this 4. I just don't think Georgia can score. That quarterback is a good feel-good story. He did make some plays, but he's in the big leagues now here. Georgia's defense is good. I cannot pick against Alabama here. I don't know what I'm going to do with this game. I'm going to have to bet it. We should make a pick on it. It's 8:00 Saturday night. I'm taking Bama. I'm laying a 4.
All right, that's fine. I mean, how can you go wrong?
Alabama minus 4 points.
Alabama minus 4. I know they gave up tons of yards and tons of points last week, but I think that's a more explosive offense in Ole Miss than Georgia is.
And that just plays even to their hands this week.
Georgia's offense is more like we're going to score points by pushing you around. That doesn't really happen to Alabama.
Right. Position advantage.
Ole Miss did it on some, probably fancy plays and some speed outside and some matchups. I don't think Georgia's going to have the same type of offense. I think they'll probably, they line up with 2 tight ends and try and, they'll make some plays. And I don't know, this one might be one to look at the over in this, the way Alabama's defense played last week. But you got to think that Nick Saban, sick or not, is going to have that defense come to play.
He was cracking the whip on those guys. And if they played this Ole Miss again, that would be different. I'm not saying it was lucky, but there was some luck involved there. You're not going to hit those plays. Those are not Hail Marys, but some plays that aren't high percentage plays, let's put it like that, that they hit on.
So right now, let's look what we got. We got the Arkansas State Thursday night. We got BYU and SMU Friday. Auburn, Tennessee, A&M. A big SEC strong. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cincinnati, Alabama. And did you want to throw North Carolina on there? Or do you got another one?
How many is that? I mean, I would lean them. I mean, we don't have to. How many is that? How many we got?
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I don't see anything that really.
Okay.
I mean, I'm leaning, like I said, I'm leaning Carolina and I'm leaning Notre Dame, but I'm not going to bet Notre Dame for the game.
I like North Carolina. Let's throw it in there.
All right, let's take it. 13.5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And they're heating up. They're going to score points. They're a legit team.
Yep. And they gave up a ton last week, but Florida State is inept. I know they played pretty good against Notre Dame.
That's the best game of the season, right? That's the letdown, I'm thinking, maybe.
Okay, so there you have it. Arkansas State, BYU, SMU, Auburn, Tennessee, A&M, Cincy, Alabama, North Carolina. In the pros, we got the Patriots, Buccaneers, Rams, over Cardinals, under Bills, Browns, Vikings, Colts, and Cardinals.
Yeah, those are winners right there. I feel real good about the college this week.
We need to get better in college because I've been struggling a little bit on that. So
right. Just going to status quo in the NFL. So don't even.
All right, so we want to thank MN3 Technologies. That's correct.
That's
Nick
right.
Perone and his guys over there. If you need any technical help up in there in New Jersey, Will Burr Investigations. Want to make sure anybody up there in Monmouth County area needs a little help in the investigations territory. You can call them, Wilbur Investigations. John Grove for the bumper music. Congratulations. He's up for a Grammy nominated for his latest album called Central City. So check that out if you get a chance to. You can listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. Don't forget Thrive Fantasy Wager Makers is the promo code. Devin's going to tell you about YouTube right now.
Hey guys, it's Devin. Make sure you subscribe to the Wager Makers podcast on YouTube, like all their videos, and click that bell so that you turn on your post notifications and you never miss another video.
Thank you, Devin. YouTube, Google Play Music, Podbean, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, SportsWatchMonitor.com. If you could have bought our pick for $20 last night and won on Tennessee. If you could have bought 11
in a row, baby, in Fuego.
Red Hot, we're the number 3.
$20 is a bargain. That's a drop in the bucket.
Right. I mean, you want winners, you got winners. That's that was one game I did not put on the I usually put them all on our social media and all that stuff like that. But if you don't believe us, go to Sports Watch Monitor.
Hit us up. We're available 24/7 for picks.
You want to pick? Let us know. I love the games Friday night, Webb. 2 college games Friday night.
I'm a BYU guy, man. That's my squad, I think.
We've been on. We follow Tulane closely. I love SMU.
Yeah, right. We're closet Tulane guys. Right, exactly.
So Facebook, the Wager Makers podcast. Also, you can check us out, the Wager Makers Talk group. Just ask to be invited into that. Twitter at the Wager Makers, Instagram at the Wager Makers, thewagermakers@gmail.com for emails. And that's it. Thank you all for listening. Listen, tell some friends, subscribe. We're red hot, man. Red hot picks coming at you. This episode's gonna be called Red Hot Picks. That's what it's gonna be called.
There you go.
Thank you all for listening, Webb. Take us out.
Brick by brick, baby. Hop on the train. We're going to Moneytown. Christmas is coming. Come on, baby. Tell a friend.
We're going to Moneytown, baby.
That's right. The Wager Makers Express is taking you to Moneytown. Brick by brick, baby. Tell a friend. Thank you, MN3 Technologies, Wilbur Investigations, Thrive Fantasy, Marty Johnson. Congratulations, John Grow. And tell a friend, man. We need numbers. Devin's giving me a hard time about no one's liking and subscribing. So help me out. I'm hearing shit from my 9-year-old.
Tell some friends.